Kandy, a world-famous city with a very rich cultural heritage, is situated in the central hills of Sri Lanka, among a picturesque view of a mountain range, attracting people from around the world by its bewitching beauty, blended by the temple of the Tooth Relic. This is the last kingdom of Sri Lanka, and the Kandy city is a place of rapid urbanization that has taken place over the past 2 to 3 decades. Although the capital of Sri Lanka is Colombo, Kandy has become the main transport hub by connecting all corners of the country with a wide range of road network connecting the north, northwest, east, south and west. Strategically based when considering the rapid urbanization. In fact, it helps the local migration. A point to be mentioned is that Kandy is facilitated with infrastructure techniques such as 93% electricity coverage as against 62% with pipe-borne water coverage. Although the city of Kandy is surrounded by a wide range of mountains with the trace of the Mahavali River, still pipe-borne water is a luxury to some parts of Kandy suburbs such as Pathadumbara, Akurana and Pujapitiya. Even valleys go dry during the dry season. The water service facilities before the year 2000 was limited mainly to the Kandy city, Harispattua and Pathadumbara areas where the borehole systems were constructed during the early 80s. The service level was very poor even in Kandy municipal area. The small water systems which were fed from deep groundwater source had quality problems as well as poor in yield. JICA has prepared a master plan with the National Water Supply and Drainage Board in 1998 to give the solution to the water problem in and around the Kandy area. This project was planned in 3 phases. Phase 1, Stage 1 of the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project started in 2001 and was completed in 2006 at a cost of 5,543 million rupees through funding of JICA. Under Phase 1, Stage 1, water intake was constructed from Polgola pool at Guhaguda area. Also, a treatment plant was constructed in Katukasthuta with provisions for future expansions. With the implementation of the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project Phase 1 Stage 1, the water supply facility was improved in the Kandy municipal area, Harispattua, southern part of Pujapitiya, Akurana and a part of Galagidara as well. Under Phase 1 Stage 1, 4 numbers of reservoirs were constructed including Asgiri Reservoir, which was meant for the Kandy municipality. Existing service level in the Kandy Municipal Council area was also improved remarkably. Also, Kurugoda, Kahavatta and Kahalla service reservoirs and the pump station was also built in Kahavatta to supply water to Kurugoda. New consumer population benefited by Stage 1 of the project was 77,000. Existing water supply facilities also improved for 304,000 of the population, including the Kandy Municipal Council area. JBIC, the Japan Bank for International Cooperation, agreed to provide further assistance to continue the water supply facility improvements in the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project area under Stage 2 of the project. Under SLP 90 loan package, 3,447 million yen was allocated for the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project, Phase 1, Stage 2. The project scope consisted of 8 service reservoirs, namely Yatiwavala, Nugavela, Guhaguda, Hantana Place, Mullepihilla, Alhena, Maddapatana and Telabugahavatta. 4 pump stations, R2, Hantana Place, Ampitiya, Yatiwavala, and improvements to the main pump station at Katukasthuta water treatment plant. In order to promote the local construction industry, all implementation work was done through Sri Lankan contractors. Savings from the SLP 90 loan package of JBIC JICA was utilized to improve the water treatment plant, where a new flocculation unit, sedimentation tank and a ground reservoir unit were built. To enhance the water treatment plant capacity up to 48,000 cubic meters per day, the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project was able to supply water to Madavela Reservoir in order to improve the service levels of the consumers living in Rajapihilla, Madavela, Hadeniya, Pujapitiya areas. A 4.5 kilometer long transmission main was laid and the Gonigoda pump station was constructed to feed the Madavela new reservoir and the Madavela existing reservoir as well. Provisions were made to supply 5,000 cubic meters per day to the Galagedara and Mavatagama area. The Greater Kandy Water Supply Project carried out a master plan review in order to develop project proposal to expand the water supply facilities to Pujapitiya, Akurana, Ankumbura, Bokkawala, Alavatugoda, Dunuvila, Pathadumbara and the part of Galagedara and higher elevation areas of Harispattuwa Divisional Secretariat Division such as Yahalathanna and Bogaskumbura. Special features were incorporated to the project implementation, considering long-term sustainability of facilities. Quality goods were procured and safety provisions, flow monitoring system and a SCADA system were introduced. Social and environmental aspects were considered during the implementation period and the infrastructure facilities of the surrounding area were also developed. Road improvements with retaining wall, mirrors, signboards, concrete roads with drains. Quality of construction and the reliability of the outcome were the main concerns. Space for future provisions were allocated as far as possible to avoid difficulties during facility expansions. 11 quarters were constructed nearby the water treatment plant to provide accommodation facilities for operations and maintenance staff of the Greater Kandy Water Supply Scheme. One of the key element activities done by the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project was non-revenue water reduction and prevention program, including bundle pipe replacement, house connection transfer, installation of bulk meters for night flow studies, design and preparation of type drawings for house connections, pilot project for procurement of quality water fittings for 5,000 house connections, introducing of new BOQ, specification and bid document for house connection program as an institutional support measure. Currently, 30 to 35% of treated water is wasted due to leaks in transmission and distribution pipelines, as well as internal losses of housing units at customer premises. Consultative workshops were held to identify the cause of water losses in distribution systems and consumer units. And it was identified that the main causes of leakages and water losses are the use of poor quality water fittings and poor plumbing practices. To address the causes of leaks, appropriate strategies were identified and proposed to the water sector managers. Consumers tend to buy water fittings that are available in the market. Most of the items available in the market do not have quality standards, guarantees, and especially spare parts are not available. It is difficult to identify quality goods as fake items as reputed brands are prominent in the market.
Then, මෙන්න මේ ball valve හොඳට බලන්න. හොඳට බලන්න. හොඳයි. දැන් මොනවද දැක්කේ?
සර්. මේ දෙක එකම බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එකේ. එකක BS කියලා අංක වගේක් සඳහන් කරලා තියෙනවා. අනික එහෙම දෙයක් නැහැ.
අන්න හරි. ඒ අංක තියෙනක තමයි ප්‍රමිති සහතිකයේ තියෙන්නේ. එකම බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් නේම් එක උනාට අංකේ නැති එක මේකේ ඩුප්ලිකේට් එක. ඈ? ඉතින් බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් නේම් එකවත් නැති එක ගැන කවර කතාද?
Most vulnerable water fittings and plumbing systems are the float-operated valves, flush valves in the system, swan neck taps in the pantry. Those items are being very regularly used by the consumers. Most of the leakages occur from the above items in domestic plumbing systems. A project study reveals that the availability of quality products with long-term reliability is the only solution to minimize water losses. With the initiative of the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board has got the approval to regulate imports of water fittings. Appropriate standards were proposed to the Sri Lanka Standards Institution. As a pilot project, regulatory measures were introduced for float-operated valves, which is effective from 1st January 2017. The Ministry of City Planning and Water Supply and the National Water Supply and Drainage Board has already taken steps to introduce regulatory measures on imports of materials for another 4 items, namely flush valves in cisterns, swan taps in pantry, angle valves and bidet showers. The other main cause of leakage is poor plumbing practice in domestic internal plumbing systems. Most of the practicing plumbers in the country are not trained properly. They do not have proper qualifications as well. Special training programs were introduced to train the plumbers island-wide. Already, 350 plumbers were trained and introduced to customers. Plumber training yards were constructed in 5 provincial offices of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. The main plumbing demonstration yard is established at the Knowledge Sharing Centre in Katugastota. Licensed plumber system is required in order to promote quality of the goods and services in the water supply sector. In order to ensure water conservation through minimizing water leakage, it is essential to introduce quality fittings to the Sri Lankan market and promoting of proper plumbing practice. Quality of fittings are to be regulated and frequent quality monitoring systems are to be introduced. A water fitting testing laboratory was constructed and commissioned to provide testing facilities for domestic water meters up to 40 millimeters, stopcock valves up to 300 millimeters and bulk flow meters. These water fittings testing facilities help to procure quality goods for our country. Clamp saddle testing apparatus was established as the world's first clamp saddle endurance test apparatus. Endurance test apparatus is very useful to identify the long-term reliability of water meters, stopcocks and clamp saddles. These apparatus help to identify the quality of the pipe fittings and water meters. Several awareness campaigns were carried out to promote non-revenue water reduction and prevention strategies. A documentary drama, which was prepared to emphasize the quality of goods and services, was produced and telecast in national television networks. Exhibitions were arranged for school children and the general public to raise awareness on the cost of water, value of water, need of water conservation. Street drama was one of the popular tools to promote the need of water conservation. A consumer manual was published for the benefit of water consumers. It contains water conservation measures to reduce the water bill. The book, Caring for Water, authored by Dr. Sarath Amarusiri, was printed in 3 languages and distributed among school children, public sector institutions and libraries. Calendars were distributed to more than 9,000 schools in Sri Lanka in 3 languages. Special attention was given for the public awareness on the cost of water, cost of alternative drinking water sources and water-saving measures. Several workshops and public consultations were held with government agencies, contractors, manufacturing agents, suppliers, professional institutions, school teachers and vocational educational institutions such as NITA, TVEC and TRAD. Several leaflets were published to make the general public very well aware. The Greater Kandy Water Supply Project not only provides water to the people but also provides great contribution to long-term sustainability of the water sector by establishing water fitting testing laboratory, extensive awareness campaigns on water conservation and enforcing regulatory measures on the imports of water fittings, establishment of the quality plumbing practice in Sri Lanka. Let's utilize, let's stop water wastage and let's save for the others and for the future.